Spiritual warfare occupies a small part of my prayer life, but it's an important part of my prayer life. The Lord's Prayer includes a component of spiritual warfare. It says, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And the real rendering there is from the evil one. The Lord's Prayer is a daily prayer. It doesn't say, give us this week or weekly bread, this month or monthly bread. Give us this day our daily bread, a daily prayer. And as a part of that daily prayer is a component of spiritual warfare. So as a regular part of what I do on a daily basis is to take the authority that we've been given to use the name of Jesus against all the power of the enemy and exercise that. I tell people I don't want to get to heaven and find out or ask God, back in 2017, I really got walloped. And hear God say, well, Tom, that was a spiritual battle. And then I would say, well, God, what could I do about that? And he would say to me, didn't you read my book? And I would say, well, yeah. And didn't I tell you that I gave you the authority to use my name against all the power of the enemy? You did. Well, didn't you think I meant it? Yeah, I guess I did think you meant it. Then you could have done that. And you mean that would have changed 2017? Oh, Tom, that would have made that a whole different year. What about 2018? Oh, that was different. That wasn't spiritual warfare. And so my point is, I don't have to figure out which of these battles are spiritual warfare of nature the enemy is attacking me with. I don't have to figure that out. All I have to do is be faithful in using the name of Jesus against that on a daily basis. And I have the authority to do that. And in our church, I think we've been spared a lot of things through the years. And I really believe that's because of that. Just one story, if I can. So I do spiritual warfare every Sunday morning before I come to church. Again, it's a small part of my prayer time, but it's an important part. And one Sunday morning, I got up to speak. We have 3 services, and at the beginning of the first service, it was like there was a 1-inch thick piece of glass between me and the congregation. I could tell that I wasn't connecting. It felt like the words were bouncing off that glass. People looked distracted, unconnected, and something was off. But I pressed through the service. At the end of the first service, after I greeted all the people, I sat down to worship for the second service, and I realized I hadn't done my prayer that morning for the spiritual warfare part. So I went behind the doors that are in the front of the church and did the warfare prayer in that setting. Came back out, second service was normal, third service was normal. But what impacted me was on Monday morning I got a phone call from a man, and he said, I was in your church on Sunday during the second service. He said, what did you do when you went behind those doors? I said, well, why? He said, because I was in the back of the church and I noticed that when you went through those doors, after a short period of time, I saw this black cloud just lift off the whole fellowship of the church. I didn't tell him about what I did behind those doors. He first told me that, then I told him. And so it's just a proof positive that when we do spiritual warfare, it really does break things in the heavenlies. And so I just encourage you to consider that as a necessary part, an integral part in your daily prayers.